Yo, Henry with Average Use Slow-Pitch. Today we're bringing out the new releases here from Demarini. We've got the Lady SNI. This is going to be an APC Tech 13.5-inch mid-load. And then we've got the Team Nautil-Ey. This is back to the Nautil-Ey barrel type, so continuous fiber. And this is going to be a 13-inch mid-load. So we're going to go ahead and get some swings on both of these. We're probably going to aim for about 100 or so swings here on the mid-load, and then probably only about 50 to 75 on the APC. What we're expecting to see is these typically start right around 300, maybe slightly above, and these are usually around 275 to 280, and the APCs don't take a long time to break in. So like with my Yates from this, the Twisted Mistress Yates from this year, I usually put about 75 swings on them at most with Pro-Ms, and then I rotate them the whole time, and then I'm ready to game it. And so that's kind of the way to go. And then with these, if you go back and watch the video we did with Jason Magnum, I think back in March or April, he talks about even on the Nautil-Eys, as you're hitting these, rotate it, and eventually you're gonna get what they call the Demarini seam somewhere on there. Once you see that seam, it's pretty much game ready, but worst case, start hitting on the opposite side of the seam for another however many swings, and you'll really feel it switch gears. At that point, put it away. It's only gonna get hotter and becomes one of, in my opinion, the hottest bats in the market. But the Nautil-Ey barrels are gonna require a little extra work, the BP time, whereas the APCs, just get enough swings to get comfortable and you're gonna figure out that these things kind of fly. But both these have the ZNX alloy handles, so this is what was on Magnum's bat at the beginning of the year, the cream and black, or the red and gray, the red bat or Nautil-Ey end load, and then last year's standard issue. So we're expecting this to swing pretty similar to the standard issue from last year, except obviously with a mid load. And then this one to swing pretty similar to this year's mid load, which was the black and like graffiti colored one, but this is half an inch shorter. So let's get some swings on them, see how they perform, and come back with final thoughts. All right, as we mentioned, the new Twisted Mistress will have its own kind of release later. There's just some logistical stuff. So today we've got, as we mentioned, the Nautil-Ey mid-load, which we'll test first. So this is going to be similar to your black and cream or the gray and red Yates that dropped earlier this year, or red bat, I should say, that dropped earlier this year. So we're expecting closer to 300 and then some more swings to kind of break it in. Yep, and pretty much right on 300, which is what we expect from the Nautil-Ey barrels. And then the APC barrel, which is our Lady SNI, this is going to be similar to like the standard issue, for instance, from last year. There should be hopefully another one this year, but 13.5-inch barrel, except this one's mid-loaded versus the end load from that, or the same kind of tech as the Gold Gorilla or the Yates that's currently out already. So right at 275 makes sense. Should only need 75 to 100 swings at most to really be broken in, game ready. I swing the Yates currently, and that's kind of what it takes for me to get those broken in. So we'll see how both these perform, kind of the difference in breaking process, and then talk about that more later on. All right, we're gonna swing the Team Nautil-Ey first, especially since the, again, the continuous fiber barrels take a little bit longer to open up. We figure we'll get this one kind of swung, get about close to 100 swings, kind of break it in, and then compare it to kind of something the APC is supposed to be kind of more game ready. So I will say the first thing I've noticed is this is a 27 mid-load. What I like about Demarini is their mid-loads definitely don't feel balanced. You can tell there's a load in there. So it does feel a little bit on the maybe heavier side, but I think it feels kind of like a true 27. So if you've swung like the Gold Gorilla, a lot of people said that one felt really light, especially the 1 ounce end load. This 27 to me feels significantly heavier than that Gold Gorilla, which I think the Gold Gorilla felt almost an ounce light, so it kind of makes sense.
98 miles per hour.
Oh, the good old Nautil-Ey sound, I love it. Magnum's black and cream is still one of my favorite bats.
90 miles per hour.
90 off the end cap. End cap's fire.
105 miles per hour.
Oh, there we go. 105 on our third swing with a bat testing 300. That's continuous fiber tech right there for you.
83 miles per hour.
You know, it's almost barrel still.
Yeah.
98 miles per hour.
You know,
One of the best sounds. I love it.
I mean, you sit there and you talk about how good the Louisvilles are, and then these guys remind you why they're in the conversation too.
Yep.
95 miles per hour.
95 towards the end. Man, this wind's starting to kick up though. Hopefully it's not messing with the audio too bad, but New Mexico windy season's supposed to stop early June. Here we are, what, the last day of June? And it's still windy, but also hot, which is equally as terrible.
85 miles per hour.
99
miles per hour.
At the peak,
at 99 straight to the gap. I'm not even worried about distance right now. I mean, the wind, you can see it cutting through the wind, but this wind is getting, unfortunately, strong.
102 miles.
Who cares about the wind? 102 on a missile. We're talking less than 15 swings in, and this bat is just murdering balls 300 compression. Well, it's probably at 295 now.
86 miles per
What?
hour.
Love this, bro. I love this fucking sound, bro. I barreled maybe 3 of these fuckers in there, and it sounds good.
102 miles per hour.
So good, every time.
100 miles per hour.
I'm still convinced the people who don't like the continuous fiber barrels. Now, if you're not a stiff handle person, got it. But if it's purely a performance, like you don't feel like they perform, there are a ton of bats out there now that are obviously game ready type bats. This one, the sweet spot, sure is game ready. The forgiveness, not necessarily, right? But you are willing to put in the work. I'll tell you right now, this bat, when you get to about 260 compression or lower, and by this bat I mean the continuous fiber barrels, you will probably not find a hotter bat on the market that is still passing. So if you want to put in the work, great. If not, obviously you've got the Louis, the APC, Demarini's, Monster, those kinds of bats that are going to pass. If you don't care about that either, now you've got Bedlams, Primos, Tantrums, Resis, all that kind of stuff. So just think about what you're looking for there. But if you want to put in the swings, especially as summer goes away and it gets colder, these ones, we put about 400 swings on the black and cream, 300 to 400 swings of the black and cream Gorilla back in, I think, February when it was colder. And that got us down to that 260 range. And that bat was 100% my gamer until it kind of warmed up and I switched back to my Brady. So just kind of keep that in mind. And if you're gonna pick these up, the AP or the Nautil-Ey barrels, just make sure you put in the necessary work.
88 miles per hour. 102 miles per hour.
102 elevated.
Yeah.
And we one-hopped the fence. I mean, obviously you got wind to worry about, but
Not to mention, I think Demarini's durability, like as to swinging a bat in the winter, I
yeah,
don't think anybody comes close.
it's amazing.
Nobody comes close.
102 miles
That's
per hour.
102, a slight mislook.
104 miles per hour. 96 miles per hour.
Got there quick.
So good.
82 miles per hour.
There you go.
I was about to say,
93 miles per hour.
and the crazy part is,
Fucking movie.
if you're familiar with the continuous fibers, you know the first sign of it breaking in a little bit is the webbing starts. From the webbing, eventually the Demarini seam. We don't even have webbing on it yet, so we'll see if that even starts today. Again, it's about 80, 85. The wind's not making it feel quite as hot. I think it's closer to 85. So the ball's been out here for a little while. They don't feel soft necessarily, but they're probably not as hard as if we were swinging obviously in the winter, first thing in the morning, night, whatever. So it might take even a little bit longer to break it in right now. But the way it's performing with the wind, potentially softer Razos and ZNs, you can't ask for more than that. From a bat that started at 300, I'm gonna guess we don't get below 275 pretty easily.
101 miles per hour.
I don't know what else to say about it.
101 miles per hour.
Yeah, okay, so again, you can't ask for much more. Initial performance here. We're gonna let the bat sit, see where it's testing, but I'm telling you, at least another 100 swings on it, if not more, to truly break it in, and yet we're getting the performance you just saw. So, great product. I am not a balance fan, but I do think the mid load, because you can feel the way they load it, it gives you kind of that end load through the zone with almost more control. This is right up there with how much I like the gray and black Gorilla, which is one of my favorites. But we'll probably try to put more swings on this later and do a part 2. This is obviously so you can kind of see performance before release, but stay tuned for these drop-in headbangers. Demarini. Yeah, very good. All right, it's not too often we get to swing the APC on the same day as the continuous fiber, but we got the Lady SNI again. 13.5-inch barrel, has the alloy handle, which is different from the super stiff composite that's on the Yates Twisted Mistress and the Gold Gorilla. So same handle that was on, same handle and barrel length and barrel tech that was on the standard issue, except obviously it's a year newer, so whatever their upgraded tech is, and this is a mid-load. So start it.
93 miles per hour.
Is that in the rock quarry?
Yeah. It was well into the rock quarry.
Yeah, so our first swing just went sailing through this wind. Good speed and just, I mean, we've only hit one other one in the rock quarry today with any bat. I mean, the wind might have died down a little maybe, but I'm telling you, the banner we can see up there, top of the fence, is flying this way. So that's why I said APCs are gonna be your game ready. I don't wanna do a ton of BP, whereas the continuous fibers, they'll catch and I think pass the performance of these, but it takes a lot more swing, so you gotta put in that work.
95 miles per hour. Miles per hour.
There it goes.
101 miles per hour.
That's every bit of the sweet spot there.
93 miles per hour.
You're just towards the end, far up the end. And we're 93 one hop left. You can see the drop off when you catch the end. You get a feel in the hands. Not a sting, but just a, you can tell it's a little stiffer like you use the end of the bat.
88 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour.
Yep.
98 miles per hour.
Just punching through the wind.
86 miles per hour.
86?
Yeah.
95 miles per hour.
Yeah, so sweet spot's great as far as speed goes. That ball mark is the one that just popped up, so it's way up here. We still got 95, super forgiving. So obviously you're gonna expect a pretty good drop off, especially on a 13.5-inch barrel, as you catch real low, real high. But if that's what our drop off's considered on a bat that's not completely opened up yet, I'll take it every time.
102 miles per hour. 87 miles per hour. 91 miles per hour. 101 miles per hour.
Every bit of the sweet spot. Through the tree, didn't stop our ball and land in the rock quarry. The problem with that is, when the rock quarry is open, which is Tuesday through Saturday, they won't let us get our balls. They pretty much tell us, we're a business, you guys shouldn't be hitting there, but this is a high school where we have permission to hit. Why there's a bunch of rocks out there, whatever, to business, where they care that much behind a baseball field, they don't put a screen up, I don't know, but honestly, with the wind, I wasn't expecting us to really put any balls into the rock quarry. That's now our second one with this bat. But it's just the ball's coming off this barrel great for having less than 50 swings.
90 miles per hour.
Here you go.
105 miles per hour. 101 miles per hour.
So one more.
There it is.
90 miles per hour.
Hey, look, real quick. I mean, this bat's a little bit heavier than I'm used to swinging. Lady SNL looks identical in size, but you could see that performance APC. It takes off a little bit quicker, less swings, less break-in time. I was able to find a couple of sweet spot shots with this bat, and again, it feels good. Demarini sound, unparalleled. You know, if you're willing to put in the work, Demarini, excellent choice. I'm a big Demarini fan. I like them, you know, but what I find too is a lot of people don't mention they're very durable. A lot of the other bat options, you know, when it gets 60 degrees, you got to put them away. Demarini's not. That's not the case, you know. So if you play year round, this is a very good option because they're very resilient. They are very durable. So all in all, two good options. APC technology, good. Continuous fiber with the swings, good. Both bats, good.
94 miles per hour.
What? Wake up. All right, well, that's about all we need here on the APC. Like we said, we're gonna put a few less swings. This one's probably between 50 and 75. We got just over 100 with the continuous fiber, but again, game ready, pretty much from the start. If it's me though, depending where it tests, we'll go test it here in a minute, but as long as it's still 260 plus, 265, this is about the point now where I can tell the barrel's opening up more and I would game it. So 50 to 100 swings, 52s, Pro-Ms, whatever. Get a nice game ready, some webbing, and then good to go. But we'll test both of these, come back with final thoughts. I'm gonna give you a little more info. All right, now that we're complete with our Demarinis, let's go ahead and get a quick final test, see where they're at before the final thoughts. Obviously this one is the Nautil-Ey, has about 100 or so swings on it, start at 300. It is a little warm out here, so I don't think it'll play a big part on this barrel, but yeah, so still 280-ish. And honestly, it might even be slightly higher depending on if it's letting it cool down a little more. But either way, as you can see, for as good as it kind of performed for us, felt for me, it does need more and more swings to open up. And 100 is definitely not going to do it. So, and then the Lady SNI, our APC composite, this one's right around 50 to 70. Well, I looked at Pocket Radar, I think said 68. So depending on the ones that didn't register, we're looking at 75-ish swings. Start at 275. And we're still sitting at 265 or 270. So again, wiggle room. So again, about 100 swings on the APC barrels to get them kind of game ready in my mind, or kind of where you want them at that sub 260 mark. And then on the continuous fibers, I don't know, it's like 200 plus really, and it just kind of depends. So really swing it till you get, especially if you don't have a tester, swing it till you get that Demarini seam and you'll be good to go. All right, we're field swings, velo, and final compression complete here with our Team Nautil-Ey continuous fiber barrel. Again, 13-inch mid-load, and our Lady SNI APC barrel, 13.5 mid-load. And both these, that ZNX alloy handle, so nice and stiff. And all in all, again, Demarini does it where it reminds me of kind of why I switched primarily kind of between Louisville. Still love the Brady. Honestly, the Iron Man we've swung recently was really, really good as well. And then the Demarinis as well. So for me, I've actually been swinging the Twisted Mistress Yates a lot in games lately. This reminded me a lot of that one. Obviously with the mid-load, slightly different feel, slightly longer barrel. I do think for me personally, I would rather this still be in kind of that 13-inch, which is why I think for me, the Nautil-Ey felt a little bit better. But I also typically like swinging the 12, 12.5, and then 13 max. So that little bit of extra length for me, being a little bit taller, I found that I was overextending every now and then, catching a little more towards the hands. But the good news is, this bat's so forgiving. You can kind of, hopefully you can see there's ball marks here up high. There's a ball mark down here, down low. Even on those ones, I think we were seeing, well, at least for me, 95 plus. So you're still getting a ton of forgiveness with, I think, the top speed off the sweet spot being 105. And then again, it's like 85 degrees now, wind's blowing. So not perfect conditions. By the time we got to this bat, we'd already, or both these bats, we'd already swung something else. The balls have been out here for a little while. So even with somewhat softer, they were still flying. This thing pushed the ball through the wind just fine. I think a couple 94s at launch angle, well over into our rock quarry, which is 30-ish feet beyond our fence, and that portion of the fence is about 340. So I mean, the ball's flying off these barrels. I can feel it, the barrel's cooking. I mean, it's hot out here, and it's still holding compression just fine. So with these ones, again, 100 to 150 swings. If you're using kind of the harder Pro-Ms, things like that. If you're using 52s, just keep rotating and kind of look for the webbing. Webbing's a really good sign on the continuous fibers like this one. I've got a little bit starting in there in the purple. Yeah, a little bit all the way around, but you'll tell it'll web up a lot, and that's when you know it's kind of sitting where it is. My Gamer Yates was just wickedly webbed, and it was sitting at about 255 on the tester at our military tournament. So that's kind of what you're looking for there. And then I mentioned a little bit while I was swinging it, but the continuous fiber barrels, these are probably still one of my favorite bats all around of all the companies, but it's probably my favorite barrel type tech, I should say, from Demarini. And one, the sound on it is great. The sweet spot, I think, is still better. Personally, I think it's better than the APCs. Not by much. I mean, obviously you saw at the speeds, they're both right there. But with the way it feels, the sound, I love it. And then with these, as long as you put in that work to get to 300-400 swings, whatever it might take with your swing type, the balls, this gets so hot that it becomes, to me, one of the hottest bats on the market at that point. So If you're somebody who wants something that's gonna pass for a long time, let you BP, gonna hold up in the cold, and really get to break it in, these continuous fibers are the way to go. With this one, I'm not typically a balance fan, and I get it, it's mid-load, so I was a little wary at first, but they did a great job of, you can tell that it's actually mid-loaded and not balanced. So at being at a 27, for me, this is the perfect weight, feels great. The 13-inch barrel is, I think, kind of the perfect setup for this. They could probably get away with even a 12.5, similar to J-Mag's Gold Gorilla from this year. But either way, ball flew off from kind of swing one. I think swing number 3, we're at like 103 on a bat testing 300. You saw it still testing like 280 plus. So tons of wiggle room. It's gonna get real hot. Keep swinging until you get that Demarini seam. That's the best way I can say it's kind of ready to go and broken in. For those that don't have a tester, if you have a tester, just get sub 260. And from there you can really just game it, or get the 250 and it'll last for a long time. But just note that with both of these, similar to like Louisville and Monster, when you get to that 240 mark, these aren't gonna, I haven't seen any really drop below 240, so they're gonna break like they're supposed to. So just keep that in mind. So don't drive these things down and be like, cool, I'm gonna try to drop them all the way to 190 like some of the old school Fireflex Eastons, things like that. It just won't happen. So 260 to 250 is kind of your sweet mark, or your kind of where you want to sit with both of these. So just kind of keep that in mind. But either way, these are dropping real soon. If you want to pick them up, code ADS on Headbangers will be your discount, or reach out to me and I can get you squared away, especially if you want like expedited shipping, something like that. Or you can head over to Demarini.com. I don't have a code with Demarini's actual website themselves, but I do think they offer military discount. So obviously if Headbangers is out, who by the way also offers military discount, but if they're out of these there, then obviously head over to Headbangers, or Red Athlete even carries them sometimes as well. Demarini affiliate handles a lot of the apparel for Louisville and Demarini. Code ADS35 over there. We'll get these for you. So keep your eyes peeled. These will be dropping. We'll bring out the new Twisted Mistress here in the very near future as well. That's going to be a 13 mid-load. So again, as I was talking about this one, half an inch shorter, still mid-loaded. Real excited for that one. But hopefully this helped you kind of make a decision on what you want to do in the future as far as picking up either one of these or something else. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day.